present building, which is known as the Rajindra Gymkhanna Maharani Club, has a long history. This double-story red-tiled roof Victorian structure in fact was the Patiala Cricket Club, which came in existence in 1892 during the reign of Maharaja Rajindra Singh. Maharaja was of a very tender age when he developed the love for cricket. He was living with the present adjoining building, which is now known as Neem Rana Hotel. This was known as Rajindra Palace, and there Maharaja used to live. So along with his younger brother Raja Ranveer Singh, they used to play cricket by calling the young kids of their foidas, their own people, and they used to divide them into teams and they used to play cricket, but the ground used to be very small and they could run only 2 runs. So when Maharaja developed age of 14 years, he showed keen interest, and the Regency Council then requested the British government to send a good cricketer to train Maharaja in the fineness of the game. So the Middlesex known coach Harne, he was appointed and he came to Patiala and they started coaching him. And then in 1892 or 94, around this year, Maharaja told his younger brother Ranveer Singh to construct a full-fledged cricket stadium. And that is how this building of Rajindra Gymkhanna came into existence. Along with the building, they constructed a clock tower also. So this building is, you can say, it's 1892 or 93, it came into construction, and still it is one of the magnificent building of Patiala state. And Maharaja started playing cricket regularly in this cricket ground. So in 1895, Maharaja went to Shimla, which was the summer capital of the British government. There he watched a match of cricket in Annandale, which was played by the British Army versus a team which had come from Bombay. So Maharaja invited them after the match that they should, when they are going back to Bombay, they should stay over in Patiala as his guest and they should play a cricket match in the newly constructed stadium which had come in Patiala in existence. So as said by the books, the first match came in action in 1896 when Colonel Mistry was the main man who brought the Parsi team in Patiala, and the first match was played over here. Maharaja then employed Colonel Mistry as one of his coach also. And there was very interesting incident which happened once, that there was one games boy whose name was Nanak Ram. And Harne, the coach, he was a very good off spinner. And Nanak Ram used to copy him. Maharaja had come to see a match when he saw that Nanak Ram was bowling on another end and Harne was bowling from the another end. Then he immediately told the people that how can one man bowl from both the ends? And then Maharaja was told that it is not Harne on the other end, it is their own boy Nanak Ram who is bowling from the other end. So Nanak Ram copied Harne so beautifully that Maharaja rewarded him and he made him a gazetted officer in his Patiala state. So these things normally used to take place in Patiala cricket at that time. Then Maharaja's son, Maharaja Bhupinder Singh, he also contributed in a big way for the cricket. After the death of Maharaja Rajindra Singh, Bhupinder Singh became the ruler of Patiala. He was of a tiny age and he invited large number of cricketers as coaches in Patiala. When he attained his full powers in 1908, he promoted cricket and he made a cricket team of well-known cricketers from all over India. In 1911 and 12, he went to England and played unofficial cricket matches in England. And then later on, cricket became his passion. He became addicted to it and he started playing regular cricket in Patiala as well as in Chai. During early winters, the teams from Ambala used to come and they used to play cricket here. The story of Patiala Pack goes from this very ground. In 1920, Colonel Douglas 11, he came from Ambala and played a match here. And in this match, Maharaja Patiala scored 242 runs and everybody appreciated his style of cricketing. And normally in the evening when such event used to take place, they used to celebrate in the club building. And Maharaja started pouring drinks himself. And when Colonel Douglas found that Maharaja has almost filled the glass, then he asked Maharaja, "Yes, sir, what are you doing? You have filled the glass." Then Maharaja told him, no, you are in Patiala, this is the style here, this is called Patiala Peg. So you have to gulp it in one go. That is how the story of Patiala Peg goes in Gymkhana cricket ground. Like this, he donated lot of money for the promotion of cricket also. He spent lot of money in Braben Stadium and erected a special enclosure which is known as Patiala Pavilion in Bombay. Similarly, he made a special pavilion of cricket in Amritsar also, in Amritsar cricket ground also. Thus Maharaja Patiala was a great cricketer and he promoted cricket and invited many people. Large number of cricketers like Muhammad Nisar, Lala Amarnath, Wazir Ali, Nazir Ali, Amar Singh, they all played their cricket in this Gymkhana ground. In 1934, Maharaja donated Ranji Trophy in the memory of Ranjit Singh Ji. Because Ranjit Singh Ji served as ADC to Maharaja Patiala, that is Rajindra Singh, in 1898-99 when there was some problem regarding his regenship, how he could not get the title of Maharaja of Jamnagar. So during that period he stayed in Patiala and in his memory Maharaja Bhupinder Singh donated Ranji Trophy, the national cricket trophy which is still going on in India. So during his reign he used to invite outside teams like Jack Ryder's team he invited from Australia. So and he used to spend all the money on the team from his own coffers. And that team used to come and stay here in Patiala as well as in India for 2 to 3 months and they used to play various matches all over India. Similarly, he invited Gilligan's team also and they were ex-cricketers of their nation as well as they were well-known cricketers of the world at that time. During his time, Jardine team, the famous Larwood, he also came to Patiala and played here in Gymkhana. Like this, Lord Tennyson team also came over here. Maharaja Bhupinder Singh's son Yadavendra Singh was also a very fine cricketer. He also represented India against England. And to his credit, 36 centuries are there in A-class cricket. So thus, cricket became a Makkah Medina. Patiala became a Makkah Medina for Indian cricket. So after the death of Maharaja Patiala, later on cricket kept on going and during 1946 and 47 because of the disturbances there was lull in the cricket side. But after 1948 when independence came in India in 47, then the state of Patiala got merged into Pepsu. And from 1948 to 56, during this period, Maharaja Yadvinder Singh controlled the reins of the Patiala Cricket Club. And after 1956, Patiala Cricket Club got separated from the present Rajindra Gymkhanna building. And a deed was signed in 1956 by General Shivdev Singh, who was the president of the cricket club at that time, and Mr. Batra, he was the secretary PWD of Pepsu. And in that it was written that for 99 years the club building, the two-storied club building, squash court and firing range and other premises, they were controlled by the association, and the rest of the cricket ground came under the control of the Patiala Cricket Association. And then in 80s and 90s, various national teams, Ranji matches used to take place here in this cricket ground. Large number of cricketers like Madan Lal, Harbhajan Singh, they all used to come and play cricket over here. The present a well-known politician of Patiala now, Navjot Sidhu, popularly known as Sherry, he had his cricket lessons in this very ground. He represented India while playing cricket here in Baradari Gardens. Similarly, in 96, Steve Waugh, the Australian captain, they had their first match during their tour in Patiala against the Board of Cricket 11. He liked the ground. He appreciated the club building also, and as well as the cricket ground, the Silverian surroundings and the turf on which the cricket match was played. Thus, Patiala club as well as the building is a legendary things in this town. So during 60s and 70s onwards, when Gymkhana became a limited company, then the regular elections of the club used to take place. And in 70s, Mr. Sivraj Goyal, he was the secretary of the club, and earlier to him, Mr. KBS Rai, he was Axion in PWD department. He was also the secretary of the club. Then later on, regular elections of the club, they kept on going. Now presently, the club is known for the Gymkhana activities more than other activities. For example, we have squash court, we have tennis courts, 4 tennis courts. Similarly, we have a big hall for table tennis, and similarly a new renovated badminton hall is there, and a beautiful billiard room having 3 tables of billiard there. And then we have 2 special rooms for cards. Many people are interested in cards also. We have a bridge room also, and that's all the various Gymkhana activities, they keep on going here.
I'm Karanveer Singh Sangri, born and brought up in Patiala, son of late Colonel Karanveer Singh, who was the erstwhile Chief Minister of Pepsu. And I became a member in the mid-60s, 2 to 3, and have been associated with the club off and on. And we've seen that the majestic building from time to time having various phases of its evolution, coming from the old style into the middle style and then into the modern style. Now the club membership is very big, but we have all people from all kinds of life who are members, and it's very well run.
Myself, Rajeshwar Dhundia. I belong to, born and brought up in Patiala, educated in Patiala, I became a member of the prestigious Rajindra Gymkhanna Club in the year 1976 because of sports activities. Basically, it was the infrastructure of all the games and I was quite keen to play tennis. That is how I became member of this club. Courtesy by the senior members being a sportsman, they enrolled me as a regular member of the Gymkhana Club. One has thoroughly enjoyed the period of 76 to onwards to mid 80s. It was a beautiful club, a family oriented. All the members knew everybody. So while having sports activities, we used to have a lot of inter-club tournaments within the, players, Gymkhana members also in tennis, in swimming, as well as in squash also. And a lot of ladies used to visit the sports activities and the arena. And little late 80s, the club start deteriorating because of some problems from the government, funding was stopped or the membership was a little less. Then gradually, up to mid 90s, I saw the period after such a beautiful club deteriorating. But after mid 90s, the club took over. The few managements came which really looked after, and some new members were enrolled. And ultimately, before the 2000 century, it became an independent, sufficient with funds. And gradually, if you go back in hindsight, such a beautiful infrastructure has been built of all facilities and a beautiful guest house, beautiful bar, and it has almost become a prestigious club in northern India. Now the number of membership has been increased, activities have been increased, like a lot of cultural activities, top artists have come and performed here, and those people, senior bureaucrats, army officers retired or visit Patiala, believe me, they are shocked to see that such a club progress can be made by the management itself, not a penny support from the government. Rather, we paid heavy taxes to the government as a property tax or as other taxes. Today, club by the management is sufficiently well run and has sufficient funds, and very large sports activities, cultural activities are day to day are happening. It is a very good family atmosphere. If you come on Saturday, Sunday, sometimes you have to ask for an approach to get a seat on the central lawn. Once I request you, you must come and visit our central lawn in the club to see how big and glorified club it is.
I am Dr. Sudhir Verma, and I am proud that I have helped the Maharani Club during my 3 terms as secretary, starting in the 90s and going up to 2013. There is an ancient history and there is a modern history. The charm of the modern architecture was planned under the term of Mr. T.C. Gupta, then Deputy Commissioner, who got a master plan made by Mr. Sharma, who was Lee Corbusier's assistant. He came specially from Chandigarh and created a very beautiful master plan under which a lot of things happened. First, we made the porch, the central lawn, parking, very good parking, and a food kiosk zone, and this changed the shape of the club. No heritage structure was altered because this is what Patialis are proud of. Then came the era when sports facilities also were uplifted on massive public demand of the members. Badminton hall was built, the tennis courts were renovated, and finally in 2012 the much cherished, much desired table tennis hall also came into existence. The reception of the club, thinking that it's the face of the club, was renovated to modern standards, and a guest house also was constructed to accommodate guests from various prestigious clubs from outside. In addition, kitchen complex came up, a big dining hall for 96 people, and renovations in bar and the hall upstairs. A lot of things happened which transformed the club and enabled all of us to be in modern era and modern concept related to club activities. This is an ongoing process, and a lot of people contributed their time, energy, resources, and above all, their minds to build this place as it looks today. The gardens came up in the early 2000 era, and they were supplemented with a mini golf course. A green was beautifully created, and finally a restaurant was also built in the greens, where a second outlet for food was available. Above all, the club culturally also grew. A lot of Punjabi singers, a lot of enthusiasm among children and ladies to create a cultural hub for the city that must be acknowledged. And I think it is only the spirit of these of bonhomie friendship which has unleashed this new structure and carrying on with the traditions of our heritage club. This red tiled and tilted roofed structure is a landmark in Patiala. Many visitors come even from abroad to enjoy an evening there. I'm really proud of it. We are the members. I'm really proud of the fact that I was given this fine assignment of helping this club repeatedly over the last few years. Maybe if God willing, I'll do it again because it's my passion. And in all humility, I pay a tribute to these wonderful organizations called Rajindra Gymkhanna and Mahindra Club.